So this is a pharma concept. Okay, validation. In general, compliance भी यही same चीज होती है. Compliance मतलब compliance means complying with government regulations. Now, government regulations regarding systems why is the main question. Okay, so let's pick an example from pharma world. Okay, what happens is in pharma world, these reps are giving samples to the doctors. Okay, so companies, let's say Abbott Labs, which is an organization, is using Siebel. Okay, so it's the organization. Let's say it manufactures 50,000 units of a particular drug. Okay, so then they give it to, they have, let's say, 500 reps, so they give each one 100 each, right? Now that rep will receive it, then he will give it to doctors. He will give the, so every time he give, if let's say he give the one to doctor, he give one sample to doctor, then it should become 99. His lot should become 99. That means what he has now is 99. If he gives 5, it should become 94 now. If he gives 20, it should become 74. So this is quite simple. FDA, that is Food and Drug Administration, which is a compliance body, compliance government agency for food and drug work. Any kind of food or drug thing comes under FDA. They have a rule that you have to make sure that you maintain a record of how much you manufactured, how much you sent to a particular lab, how much they disbursed, and how much is remaining with them. Okay. So this is a very simple requirement from FDA. Okay, and I think it is understandable. Right. Now, they also say that if you are sending the rep, let's say 100, let's say 20 years back, they used to say if you manufacturing is over, it's not within our purview. Now let's say after manufacturing you send 100 samples or 20 samples to a rep, then you should get a written record from him that he got those 20. Okay. There are rules around how you send him and all those things also. But our thing is information. So when he should sign off on the information that okay, he got this 20. So now it is rep's responsibility basically. From Abbott Labs perspective, now it is rep's responsibility to maintain them. Right. Okay. When he gives something to the doctor, he takes a signature from the doctor. Okay. That's saying that I gave you 2 samples. So, right. Obviously, if after let's say 6 months, company can ask him, okay, show me all your sample orders. So that will be having the signature, say signed copies of the doctors, 2 to this doctor, 3 to this, 2 to this. So 8 gone, or 28 are gone, 12 are left. Look, I have this 12, this thing, and this is a paperwork for all the 8 drugs that I gave to doctors, and this is a paperwork that I received only 20 from you. Okay. These are the remaining 18. So this paperwork is very important. Okay. Right. So previously they used to use papers. Nowadays they use system. Okay. So FDA says okay, do using a system, but then make sure that each and every thing is recorded properly. Recorded or log means entered properly. So if you are sending 20 and rep is receiving 20, he should clearly say somewhere that I have received this 20. Okay. Similarly, when he gives an order to the doctor, doctor should be able to say somewhere that okay, I received it. Okay, and that should then we should be able to reconcile. Then we should be able to reconcile this thing. Pinu ji, सुन रहा है आपको? सुन रहे? Hello?
हाँ.
सुन रहे हैं आप?
यानी it look like a reconciliation, right?
Same reconciliation. हमने बात की थी ना?
हाँ.
फिर मैं एक बात बोल. Then we talked about that. This looks like reconciliation. Okay, so this is what reconciliation means. Now, after so you need to reconcile. Like basically, they do reconciliation after like every 6 months or 1 year. You can check those. Those are factual details. Find those. But conceptually, this is what it is. Now, what happens? What happens is, if system has the ability to change from 20 to 21, then I think this system is useless, because now you send him 20 samples to rep receives it, changes it from 20 to 19, then obviously the entire record, the entire reconciliation process becomes spoiled, right? It will not work now, because if he has 20 and he gave 8, then he should be having 12. If you can change it to 19, that means one drug will be lost. Okay, and obviously all this is being done so the rep cannot, steal the drugs.
Okay.
Okay, this is the whole idea. So and basically company has to make sure that they are, they maintain this. So the system also has to be something which doesn't allow you to delete the records. This is an FDA requirement. So FDA tells Abbott to make a system which doesn't allow deletion of certain records or updates of certain records. For example, this how much you sent in. If so, in these systems, basically, let's say company sends 20 and rep sends back 2. He
Two.
should not update the record.
Okay.
They should create another record saying -2.
-2. They cannot just simply say it's 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is how they want the system to be made. A next record should get created. Okay. So my point is, and that when they give it to doctor, even that record should not be deletable. That record should not.
So
be
how they
updatable.
gonna take consideration from the doctor? Before they used to like sign the things down. So now what they do? Now how they take confirmation from doctors?
Okay,
that he has
They
got.
don't need to take a confirmation.
They do.
Why not?
No, from the doctor.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Because after all, a doctor will be giving to the patient, right? So he's not going to ask later from the patient, all right, I gave this medicine free
No,
to you.
but rep will be giving it to doctor, so that is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, but you
Right.
said right before
That's
that.
right. So in that case, when the rep will say, yeah, this sample has been given to this doctor, that's the end, right? So, but doctor don't need to give the confirmation, all right, I give it to this patient or something.
No. A doctor process with the patient is not within our discussion. Rep,
That's the mean. That's what I mean.
correct. But rep also has to give it to doctor, right? So he will get a confirmation
That's
from
right.
doctor that he received it.
Yeah, because he's the employee of the company. He needs to.
No.
See, doctor to patient process and doctor to FDA process is not in our discussion. We didn't talk about it, but that's a good point.
Right.
What does doctor do with it, and how does FDA control the doctor behavior?
Okay.
Once we can prove that we manufactured 20,000, we gave 20 each to 1,000 reps, whatever, and then these reps gave this to doctor. The border of Abbott Labs finishes.
Finishes.
After that, doctor border starts. Okay? It's doctor's problem. He has to deal with FDA after that. Once we get this thing, so that is a huge process too. Okay? So this is a very important thing. When you're like going to a place like where you're going to work tomorrow, you need to be disciplined about all these things. Everything is your territory. At the same time, there is some territory that is really your main thing. Right? So, but that's a good point. But then within our discussion also, there is a process of doctor confirming that he received 20. What he did with this 20, we don't know. But he received 20 from the rep. So that's a good question. Okay? There are two ways to get this confirmation. One is through the paperwork.
Okay.
Right? Then Mr. Rep can enter the record manually in CBUM. Right? Then he will confirm that I gave it to this doctor. Okay, so this is one, and then for every time rep confirms it, he has to show the paperwork for it. There will be a physical paper for it. Okay, similarly, the second option is doctor signs in CBUM itself. Doctor signs. There are PDAs which can receive signature, right? Which have like touch. I think iPhone has this ability, right? iPhone is touch sensitive.
Basically, I think so. If you see the courier company, when they hand you over the courier,
they exactly same kind of thing. So if they can take a digital signature and then rep does not need to maintain any paperwork, that digital signature simply means that he got the drugs. The doctor got the drugs. Exactly. Yeah. They will, yes. They will need my mobile web client, and the mobile web client will be installed on a touch sensitive screen, and the touch sensitive screen can receive signatures.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
So from this we are basically able to understand why FDA wants to control now. So coming back to the system, so Abbott Labs has to use a system which doesn't allow deletion of these signature records, deletion of the drop records, sample have been dropped to the doctor, and deletion of the fact that rep has received from the manufacturer, that is from the company itself. Right? Actually, company has to do a lot more. Company has to tell them how much, let's say they're going to use 5 chemicals to make the drug. From where did they get the chemical? How much quantity did they buy? How much was prepared to develop that, to produce the drug, right? They, with the chemical formula, they have to show that this much was used, this much was remaining, this much went waste, and this much was thrown away in the sewage. Everything they have to do, but that is not in SIVA, so we don't care about it again. This is where our territory again stops. Before manufacturing, what happens? We don't care. Okay, before warehouse, how it got into the warehouse, we don't care, right? So after warehouse to wrap is what we care about, right? So starting again, so this comes under SIVA basically. Now why? So what happens is, this FDA is so smart and it's so involved in the process. They say that we have to prove that the system does not allow deletion and updates of these records. Okay, so this is very interesting. But this is where FDA gets very interested. They also say you must maintain record of making of this system. You know, how you made this record, how you made this system. When you are making this system, were you following the FDA guide? So there are FDA guidelines while making this whole thing. How project manager is managing the project, how did they make the design documents, how did they make the functional design documents, how did they go through the change request, how the developers developed the system, what was the procedure for it, how testers tested the system, how everything was done, and then whether the thorough testing was done to ensure that updates and deletion is not allowed. Okay, so that is why this is what comes under FDA. That is why CBIL, in CBIL world we talk about FDA. Otherwise, Food and Drug Administration, it has nothing to do with CBIL on face, but this is how it is related. While rolling out, see, basically while rolling out, some mistakes can occur, and system might lose its ability to not allow deletion and updates, right? So we have to make sure, FDA wants to make sure that production rollout was proper. So they have guidelines for everything. They might be having guidelines for the pen and paper also, what they were using. So anyway, coming back, actually they do. Those design documents, so this whole process of controlling, FDA controls this thing, right? That your design should be like this, you should be doing the design like this, you should be doing the these are the deliverables you should have, these are the guidelines you should have, this is how you should test, this is how the right scripts should be written. All these guidelines come under validation or compliance. Okay, now so this is, so in any software implementation within a pharma company, they will decide at a very high level whether it comes under compliance or not. Okay, and like before when the project is getting planned, they will first find out, what governing bodies or government bodies does this software system come under. Typically a pharma company systems will come under FDA, right? They will see whether it comes under FEMA, FDA, FTA, INS, IRS, and IRS, INS, they will all have guidelines for the system and what kind of system it needs to be. Okay, so at the planning level, they will have a few list of compliance people. These compliance people will be basically keeping a watch on each and every phase and making sure that the documentation is complete and everything is being done in the proper manner. They can even audit the whole team. Okay, so this could be an internal team, this could be an external team. Okay. Here I like to ask everybody a question: what's an internal and external team? What do I mean here? But okay, I'll let go now because we need to get him out, right? So they basically, so then this is what compliance means. So they will be basically checking. So there will be design templates. Within the design templates, you have to use specific templates only for design documents. Okay, there is a specific way to write, and in every process becomes very formal. For example, we obtain sign-offs from the users, we gather the requirements, we have to show the requirements document and obtain sign-off, and then that record has the physical copy of the design document with the signatures of the users and the project manager must be kept at a safe place. there is a time for like I think for 3 or 10 years, I don't know. You can find it on the net. We have to keep it for that much time.
Okay.
Abbott Labs has to keep those documents, how they prepared systems historically, what was done, what was the process followed, what were the requirements, what were the design docs. Each and every record has to be maintained by Abbott Labs. Okay, so similarly after this, development and all those things. What is validation now? Within compliance, this is a very interesting point. What happens is we have to show them that we tested the system. For those, we write the test scripts. Now we don't test we test everything, sure, but validation is only about deletion and updates within the context. And within the entire functionality of this thing, you have to see which all is under compliance. I gave you 2 examples: deletion and updates of sample records, lot records, so on and so forth. There are many other examples. So you should be an expert, you become an expert of going through the list of functionalities and requirements and can point out these all come under compliance. So these need to be validated in the sense that these requirements are working the way those are. So we, as part of SDLC, project manager will have a validation. In that validation, they will have 3-4 validation experts. These guys will write validation scripts. Okay, they will, once the system is ready for testing, after testing this validation is typically done, they will go through each and every step. Remember, like you saw certain test records, Mr. Shah?
Yep.
Do you remember that we did not, I asked you to, this thing and all that?
Yeah, compliance is big. I think so. You
But
could be QL could have a problem
But in,
because of that, right?
yeah, but my point is, testing is very casual. We don't even go through a script. Once I remember the script, I just do it fast, right? But in compliance, you have to follow the instruction each and every. Like validation script is written in a very, very formal manner, and each and every instruction has to be followed word by word.
That's right.
If you see P capital, you should write P capital. If you see space P, you should write space P. If you see space, you have to write space. Like you have to check what the outcome was, and you have to put the output properly. Okay.
So it's not an easy job.
It's not easy. It's basically a very thorough job. So validation testers is one thing. Validation planning is one thing. So validation testers is like a very thorough job. Validation planning is also quite thorough, but then this is a little senior job. So we do get requirements for all these things.
Is it like you have to make sure of each and every single thing while doing that validation?
Correct. So this is a point. So they basically go through the validation scripts and they maintain the traceability matrix. That these requirements, that this is the traceability matrix. This is the script that will be run for this requirement. Okay. So then as PMs and everybody make sure that traceability matrix is also there. So they sign off on it, they maintain it well. If the scripts are changed, then again, it goes to the change management process.
Right.
Okay. So there is a lot of work around these validations and all that. Okay. So this is what validation means. Okay. This is a big overview. And now what is 21 CFR Part 11? 21 CFR Part 11 is related to the when rep gives the sample to the doctor. If he takes a hard copy signature, it's fine. If he takes an electronic signature, then it comes under, what is 21 CFR Part 11 is basically a code. Like in India, we have this whole constitution. Then we have various dafas. There is dafa 420. There is articles. So this is one of the articles in the whole constitution of FDA. Okay. Yeah. So 21 CFR Part 11 pertains to electronic signature capturing. Okay. Now what does it mean? What it means is that whenever electronic signatures are captured, we need to ensure all the articles in 21 CFR Part 11 are taken care of. One of the most important article is once signature is taken and submit is pressed, it cannot be changed, deleted or changed. Right? Because on a paper it cannot be changed. It should be treated exactly like the paper. Okay? It should be treated exactly like the paper. It cannot be changed now. So if there is some change you want to make, then you have to create another record, that which is like another paper, take another signature that, let's say you give 15 to the doctor. Okay? Doctor, signs electronically that he got this 15. Just he goes inside and says, oh, what, I see 10 more drugs from another company. I don't need these many samples. I'm going to give you back 5. he cannot go back and change the record now.
Right.
He has to
Create
create
a
another
new-
record, do another signature that I gave you back 5.
Right.
Okay. So this is how it is done. Well, this is what the meaning of electronic signature is, and this comes under 21 CFR Part 11 guidelines. Okay.
Okay.